So we can like belief code to ourselves to like feeling better in our physical health.
So at the last in person, there's a lady called Suzanne, suffered with fibromyalgia. She came in on crutches. By the end of it, she was off her crutches. So stuff like this, because everything is a limitation of the mind.
Jess Cunningham, the founder and CEO of Belief Coding, one of the UK's fastest growing transformational modalities. A visionary leader and speaker, she's helping people to live with purpose and freedom.
So how do we identify the beliefs that are holding us back?
Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between physical pain and emotional pain. So when you work with your subconscious, you're able to reframe your past experiences that's subconsciously holding on to. So then you naturally think and feel happier, joyful, positive.
What is one belief that 99% of women carry?
They don't feel pretty enough, they don't feel sexy enough, they just don't feel enough in all of the areas of their life.
Having faith in things has been around for hundreds and thousands of years. It's all blind faith. It's just dressed up in different ways, isn't it?
But when you operate from faith, you are more in tune with everything and with the outcome that you want. And I think this is why I absolutely love this, because we're in a fucking society now that pushes dopamine hits that constantly make people feel not good enough. And it's just not true.
Jess Cunningham, welcome back to the Elle Sera Podcast. How are you?
I'm bloody marvellous. Thanks for having me back. I must be honest, I've been watching all of your stuff and that I want to go back on podcast. And then when you asked me, I was like, yay!
You were my first ever podcast.
Oh, it's crazy.
I feel like I've gone downhill since all. It's our first. We really came out of the blocks. Really came out of the blocks well. Yeah, so we'll get a bit of a life update before we get into the meaty, gritty, what the listeners are going to learn all about belief coding, limiting beliefs. I know I've got a few myself, so we'll get into that. But in the last 2-ish years, what have you been up to?
Oh my God, so much. So I actually don't know. I just know that I've been super busy. Changing lives, helping people change their lives, growing belief coding, going to the next level now. I'm really conscious because just before we did the podcast, Alyssa said to us, like, don't ask about the life story. So I'm giving a shout out to that. Yeah, just everything really. I think just over the past couple of years, it's funny, isn't it? Because when you first start your business, I don't know if you've had this, you go through weird transitions where you're trying to please everyone. Then you feel like a bad person if you don't please everyone. Then like you have breakdowns, then you have meltdowns, then you come through it. And it's that constant roller coaster of like growth where you feel like everything's crumbling and then you build an empire, then the empire crumbles, then you build another empire. I feel like I've gone through about 20 of those in the past 2 years. Right. But as a whole, I feel really good with where everything's at and yeah, just living life.
Well, that's good. That's good.
How about yourself?
I'll tell you when I was thinking about this podcast in the shower this morning, do you know what one thing came into my head?
Was I naked too? Joking.
And I was like, one of my funniest memories of me and you is I was thinking about Aunt Middleton because he's running for mayor.
He's running for mayor?
London mayor.
I don't watch the news. Oh my God, come on.
Yeah, he wants to be London mayor. And I was thinking, fucking hell, the first time me and Jess...
Should we share this story?
Yeah. So Jess was like, oh, I've invited this essay. This was, by the way, pre-Ant being as super famous as he is now.
So he
only
was
just
actually,
started.
Well, no, because he'd still done, he was still at some sort of level.
Yeah, he'd done SAS, he did like 2 series of it, hadn't he?
Yeah, and he was my head speaker at one of my events. And then Alyssa was coming. Alyssa turned up and I was like, so actually, no, you tell the story because I'm thinking I'm getting it wrong.
She was like, I don't really know anything about him. And I was like, right, okay. Do you want me to help you with the question? She's like, yeah, actually, in fact, could you just ask the question?
Could you interview him?
So I was like, what do you mean on stage? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, fucking hell. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, not prepped, don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, shit. So
you were amazing though. And then the best part of it,
I was so nervous.
Christine McGuinness there. I was like, and Alyssa, I'm going to be honest, you're also going to have to interview Christine too.
Yeah. Because Binky Felstead hasn't turned up. I was like, right, okay. So I know even less about her. But it was absolutely crazy.
Well, this is the thing as well. Like, so if you've got any business owners listening or any aspiring entrepreneurs, that is literally what business is like. And I think sometimes we feel that you have to have everything absolutely perfect, spot on. But actually, the more adaptable that you are, can you escape masking? Yeah. Like, the more you're going to fall in love with your business and the more you're going to grow. And you were absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You really did.
You've got to have that ability to like adapt, overcome.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Every day. And even though everybody kind of says it on podcasts, entrepreneurial podcasts, like, oh, every day you feel like crying or something.
Not if you do belief coding. This is why we're going to get you in on this.
Honestly, every single week I feel like, shit, something else has happened that you did. But that's the game. And I almost like give the spiel to people before they come into the business. I'm like, does unpredictability scare you or does it excite you? Because I'll tell you right now that one day you'll be sipping champagne at a lovely ladies' lunch, and then the next day I'll be making you move a pallet full of shit like I did yesterday in the office. And like, you know what I mean? I am not beneath doing it myself, and neither should you be. Don't be coming in here going, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm a little bit beneath it now. Oh no, I'm joking.
Well, I won't stay anywhere without a turn down service.
Yeah, no, but I think this is the thing, right? When you've done everything in your business, you like, I have done everything in my business. And because I've done everything in my business, I'm okay with totally not doing everything now. But I also know if somebody comes in and takes the mickey, and I also know if somebody's taken like the PISS out of me. Yeah. So I don't mind that. Whereas now I'm like, oh, I just want an easier life.
Do you find, because you're such a sunny, positive, great personality to be around, if you ever have to be like, have those difficult conversations, do you find that difficult?
I used to, not anymore though, because the only reason I found it difficult was because, and again, this is from like a subconscious perspective, I had a real fear of rejection, or a real sort of like people pleaser attitude. So I never wanted to upset anyone, but then that would be at my own detriment, where I would get frustrated and I would get annoyed. Whereas now, and you know, that I am totally plugging belief coding, but from understanding why I couldn't have those conversations, that took me back to moments where I had conversations and I was punished for it. So now I'm like, listen, we need to talk. So I find it quite easy to have conversations that are difficult. But I've also just taken on an ops manager. So now I'm like, Michelle,
Uni's going to have that difficult conversation.
You're bad cop and I'm good cop.
Danny is unbelievable at delegating and putting teams in place to do all that. And he just like oversees things for others like a helicopter. And I am the opposite. I am like operating the business from the bottom, doing everything myself, even though I hire people to do it. I just think I can't even trust you to do it because you're not going to do it well.
So you need the who's. This is what we just spoke about. Because if you have so now like I do actually really trust my team, especially since I've got an ops manager in. Like I know if something leaves my head, it will get done. Whereas before, if it left my head, I've assumed it's left my head and I've passed it on to someone. So surely they're going to do it because I'm paying them. But then things would get forgotten. So by having Michelle in now, she's an absolute who. Like she makes sure the thing that needs doing gets done. So it means that I can breathe a bit more.
Is she very process driven?
Yeah, she's really analytical. She's got a background in corporate, but she loves belief coding.
Right.
And she's data driven, she's analytical, but so's my chief of marketing.
Right.
So both of them are brilliant, whereas I'm a total creative.
Same.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. I'm like, I've told you now that's left my mouth, and now I don't need to write it down because I've literally just told you.
Yeah.
When people keep put that in an email, well, why? Because I've literally just told you.
I'm paying you, so you do it.
Yeah, even if it's like, you should follow up that with an email. I'm like, I'm not going to, I know this conversation is going to evaporate out of my head as soon as I put this like Zoom down with you.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah. So I need a few, I don't know,
who's? Yeah,
the who's around me.
There's a great book by a guy called Dr. Benjamin, what's he called? Harding. He looks really good the older he gets, but he does a book and it's called The Who Not the How, and it all talks about, you know, as an entrepreneur we're always trying to figure out how to get to the next goal, how to reach these financials, how to have this freedom, whereas actually if you look at who is going to help me to have this outcome, the who's are the people who they literally are, you pay them more but they are 10 times more efficient, 10 times more effective. So for me, even though like my outgoings are a lot bigger this month, over the past few months, I'm actually okay with that. I'm okay with making a little bit less if it means that I don't get as stressed. I don't get as, having to like micromanage anything. Because I don't want to micromanage anything because then it takes away from the stuff that I'm really good at.
Yeah,
belief coding.
I agree. So let us get into belief coding. So what is one belief that 99% of women carry?
Well, it's your favorite one. I'm not enough. No, it's people don't feel, a lot of the women I work with, they just don't feel worthy or good enough to have a business, to, go after their dreams. They're riddled with insecurities. They don't feel pretty enough. They don't feel sexy enough. They just don't feel enough in all of the areas of their life. But it is total like conditioning. And as soon as you start to pick apart the reasons why you don't feel those things, and you go back to the moments that created, the beliefs or the feelings, and change them, they just have total love and acceptance to themselves. I think this is why I love your brand, actually, because you're a real advocate of this. And I think I love all the campaigns that you do with the women. I'm not a golden pill, but I'm a green pillar.
Yeah.
Which I love the green pill. I think this is why, one of the things why I wanted to come back on the podcast, because you totally like embody like everything that I would say we're about, that inner confidence, that really owning who you are. More people need that, not even just women, but everyone needs to feel that.
No, I completely agree. Yeah. I kind of have probably limiting beliefs, but I just think it's self-awareness, because I think, well, I know I can get to that level, but actually,
do you want it to be easier?
I don't want to get to the other levels.
Why not? So I want to get to like go on.
Global domination, Bezos level.
I can totally see you at global domination level though. Honestly, you are global domination material.
But then I think, yeah, like the difference between like, I don't know, 10 million and 100 million, right? In your actual day-to-day life is probably that much. I don't know.
So this is the thing, right? So I've recently joined, so my coach is a guy called Russell Brunson, absolutely fantastic. But in his inner circle, there are people there who were doing like 10 million, 50 million, 100 million. But what I found and what I've discovered is, when you get to that level, it's never about the money. It's then about the purpose. It's then about the impact. It's about,
mission.
It's totally about the mission. And it's so inspiring being there. And again, I think this is one thing as a woman, because again, we've been so conditioned. Women believe on a really primitive subconscious level that, I can't be the breadwinner. I'm not the money maker. Whereas, I forgot where I'm going with this point. Whereas being in those, just like the sound of my voice, I think, Alyssa, it sounds great in this room. Whereas being in those circles and you see these absolutely, badass women just really owning who they are, like every aspect of their life, and they're purpose driven, they're creating huge impact. That's the level I want to get to. And I think one of the big things that I teach a lot of my belief coders is you absolutely have to be okay with making large amounts of money, especially if you want to create huge impact. And if we look at yourself, right? So if you made an extra $1 million, $2 million a year, or even a month, imagine doing like $1 million, $2 million a month, I can guarantee you'd get nice things, but actually your mission would change, and it would be to serve more people. Because I would say, and again, I might be way off here, but just from knowing you actually really care about your business, about your clients, about their well-being. And I would say you are purpose driven,
Definitely am. But I feel like because I've probably not had the people around me that I need, I'm at burnout stage. I'm so living in burnout. I'm like living in the depths of hell of burning at the moment.
Honestly, right? But this is the thing, right? So if you can imagine.
I think I don't want to get there. I am done right now.
So this is protecting you. So I would say that you are literally on the verge of going to your next level, because the burnout shows up, the procrastination, I don't think you procrastinate actually, but the burnout shows up, the self-doubt, the fatigue, everything shows up to keep you exactly where you are. And when it feels the heaviest and it feels like everything is on top of you, that's literally when you are about to break out. So what I would say is, when you feel all that, honestly, 2 belief coding sessions will literally remove all the overwhelm, remove all the burnout, and you will have more energy, clarity, and focus. Because the burnout, the fatigue, feeling absolutely frazzled, that comes from multiple experiences where you just had to get on with it. So you suppress all those feelings. And what belief coding does, it literally gets rid of those feelings or lets you let them go. So you do have more focus and clarity.
Yeah, I think, you're
when should we book you in?
Yeah, probably, you're probably right. I could do with something. And actually, it gets to a point where I'm like, oh my God, really bad. Yeah. And then I have a bit of therapy. And then she kind of like shows me like a mirror. She just asks questions, and then I kind of make a decision off the back of that.
Yeah.
But I only probably do it maybe like once every year.
Right, I'll tell you what, this is what we're going to do.
And I think I'm healed.
No, the thing is like, so for me, I don't like that terminology, heal, because I think heal feels
conclusive.
Yeah, whereas actually transform, and I've stopped using the words like future self, because where's my future self? Yeah. So infinite self, for me, I absolutely love to know, like, where else can I go? Like, what's my next level? So I'm all right when I feel, and don't want to go over the past 6 months, I think I was sharing it with you, because we're now transitioning to do like huge sort of numbers. I've had to become a different person. But over the past 6 months, everything that could possibly go wrong in my business literally went wrong, from, customers complaining to, breakdown of friendships, someone stealing from me, just everything had to go wrong, which felt really like, but if they wouldn't have gone wrong, it wouldn't have given me the opportunity to make sure that I've got everything in place for when we do this huge growth. But honestly, for me, belief coding is the holy grail, because when it felt like when I was crying and I want to give up, I'm like, right, okay, so where does this come from? And it always stems from the past, because your subconscious will not let you go beyond what's safe for you.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Definitely. So, okay, if you're like somebody like me and you feel like you've done the work, you've done the therapy, you've done the journaling, you've listened to a couple of self-help books, but you still feel stuck, what's next?
Belief coding.
Yeah.
It really is. So every time we feel stuck, and actually the language that we use gives an indication to what is actually going on, because we have language to we have a language as a way for the brain to reserve energy, but our language we use literally goes back to experiences. So if we're using the language, I feel stuck, it's literally because you are scared to move forward because of what moving forward will give you. And if we look at, say, for example, if we look at a career change, most people, when they feel stuck and they don't know what to do in their career, it's because they have the safety of their current career, but they know they're meant for more. But if they go after more, what does that mean on a primitive level? What if it fails? What if they're not accepted? So what happens, the subconscious will create the feeling of being stuck. But it's just a protective mechanism from the subconscious.
Yeah, no.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes I speak in my own language. I'm like, am I talking? Like gobbled
No, yeah, exactly. So your subconscious beliefs can be sabotaging your success. Well, that's essentially it.
Of course, well, right, you've got to look at it this way. Your subconscious is a primitive tool in your body purely to keep you alive. But your subconscious doesn't know the difference between physical pain and emotional pain, but it uses emotional pain as the compass to whether this is safe or not safe. Because if you feel scared, which is a feeling, we know that there's danger ahead, right? But if you feel scared and you're in pain, physical pain, again, pain is sent to the body from the brain. So your subconscious doesn't know the difference. So when we self-sabotage in a relationship, in a business, it's because the outcome we're trying to get to is not safe. And I'll share with you actually. So when I first joined Russell Brunson's Inner Circle, cost me a fortune. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. Everything went wrong. Like literally for 2 months, like I just made daft decisions. I just turned into a crazy person where nothing made sense. I was like, what am I doing? And I did belief coding, and it went back to, so believing that, just loads of stuff. I mean, it was connected to like sexual abuse. It was connected to some really big, heavy stuff. But as soon as I've cleared that, everything has gone on this amazing incline, because it wasn't safe for me to have the levels of success that I can see in my mind, I can feel in my heart. But your subconscious will always make you do daft things to sabotage it until it is safe for you to have. And it's the same with manifestation. Like manifestation is literally your subconscious and your nervous system feeling safe to go after what you want, so you take the action to get it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think I haven't manifested much recently. I've been kind of living in this bubble of anxiety, even as I'm thinking about what I've got coming on in the next couple of weeks, right? I am riddled with anxiety. I can feel it right here, and I'm like, God, yeah, I've got a really tough couple of weeks. I'm so strung out. I haven't got enough hours in the day. Everyone's going, you need to have this done by this date, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, haven't got no fucking hours in the day. So it's just,
do you want to see if I can lend you my ops manager? Michelle!
I just need a team of creatives around me to like execute. But yeah.
I'm being serious. I can actually see if you want to outsource anything to my team, I can literally see if they've got capacity. Because this is the thing, right? I do remember that feeling. Like I don't really get anxious, right? And if I do get anxious, I know something has triggered within me, and it's there to protect me, to keep me away from doing something. So every time I feel anxious, I literally do a belief coding session. And over the past 6 months when this growth has been happening, sometimes I'd like feel horrific. I'd do a session and I'd be like, I'm going to take over the world. And then an hour later, I'd feel horrific again. But it's because my goals are so big, my subconscious is freaking out. We have our identity, which is created by the subconscious to keep us exactly where we are. So when we're doing an identity shift, that's when everything is like, But with the anxiety, again, think about all the times you felt anxious and you've just got on with it, like you're doing now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going through with it. Anxiety or not, I'm like, fuck off, dude. I'm going
ahead.
Go away. I'm suppressing you. Another beta blocker, please.
No. Yeah. This is what we're doing, right? I'm going to spend a day with you and I'm going to take you to the depths of despair so you can release everything.
Yeah,
and
that
then
is true.
But you just will not feel like you just won't feel it, right? And I think when I first started my businesses, like I've had so many failed businesses, so many things go wrong, like so much anxiety, so much depression. Well, not depression actually, but so much anxiety. And I believe that's what it was like to run a business. Whereas now I totally understand, this is showing up for me to work on, to remove so I can get to the next step. So with this, would you prefer to do what you need to do with or without the anxiety?
Yeah, totally. Without
book it for a belief coding session. This is what I'm talking about.
Literally going to. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, all right. So how do we identify the beliefs that are holding us back?
So this is where we do it. So at the moment, if you're feeling a certain way, we could work with that feeling. That feeling would take us back to an experience. And then we literally just explore that experience. And we ask your subconscious, what did you believe about yourself in this moment? And it will literally present you with the protective mechanism. So I'll give you one example, just a session that I did 2 days ago. So within my business, I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm chasing my tail. It's like one extreme to the next extreme. And I'd put it down to my ad campaign, right? I was like, one minute the ads are performing well, the next minute they're turning crap. Did this belief coding session, and it took me back to when I was about 10 years old, and my mum and dad had a pine shop, but they worked all of the time, and we were either feast or famine. Like, they had loads of money, it was great, they didn't have much. And then this memory it went back to was literally me having to sleep in the pine shop with my brother and sister because they had to work through the night. And in that moment, I'd created a belief of success. The only way to be successful is if it feels extreme. Since that has cleared, I'm like, oh my God, everything makes sense. The reason why my ads have been one extreme to the other is because I've allowed that to happen rather than looking at the reason why. So now I've been able to dissect and look at why they one extreme to the other. A thought hadn't even entered my head to do that because the neural pathways wouldn't even connect, because success has to be extreme. As soon as I've gone back into that, I'm like, right, okay, this makes sense. We've been targeting a warm audience, a cold, like everything makes sense now.
Yeah. And also I put it down to the algorithm's just not playing ball with you. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes,
or it could be that.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, well, the hook's really good on that. Like some of the ads that I think are boss, just honestly do not perform at all. And I'm like, oh, I love that one. Yeah. It's fallen flat on its face. And then ones that I've been like, oh no.
The cringy ones are the ones that work the best, aren't they?
Know. UGC really works for us.
Does it?
Like flies for us. Whoa. Biggest spenders. And I'm like, oh, right. So all that time we sat in the studios, nothing. Right, brilliant. Studio time, hair, makeup, all that. Yeah, nothing. So,
I do love your ads. Though. I always get served them.
I do.
Yeah, I do like your ads. I like the ones that tells the story, and I love the ones that you appear on.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm sick of seeing the bullshit in the industry. That kind of.
I love it though, because like as a woman, you're watching, you're like, yeah, you go, Alyssa.
Well, that is true. I'm sick of the bullshit in the industry. And like we've got a new product coming out. And I kind of wrote like a bit of a manifesto the other day that was in a brochure. And I was like, no, genuinely, this is how I feel. Women are completely, and there is a gender pay gap. I don't give a fuck what people say. I know I spend a lot more money on our household shit than Danny does because I buy tea every night and it comes off my personal account because like the childminder's got my joint account card. So all of my personal money goes on buying shit for the house, bleach, cleaning products, all that. Oh, the window cleaning needs paying. There you go. It's always me, buying presents for people's parties or flowers or this. So all of my disposable cash is always limited. And then when I see women getting sold shite products, right? And I think it takes a lot more for you to earn money. You've got more mental load, more emotional load, more financial things to pay for, more financial load. I don't want you to invest in this and it not work for you. It has to perform, right? Yeah. And so I won't even, and this is a bootstrap company. We haven't got VC money. We haven't got investors, nothing. All of it comes out of my pocket. So it has to perform, right? Otherwise, I'm not even bothering to waste my time, my money, and put my name on it. So I'm telling you now, that's kind of like my mission, my manifesto.
You can totally feel that though. Like even when, I think we're quite similar because it's the same with, that's the way I view it. Like if somebody's spending money, I want to make sure that what they're spending on works.
Yeah.
And also as well, when you have that mentality, you can literally sleep at night.
Yeah.
And for me, that's like the biggest sense of peace. But what you just said there, you're so right. Like, I don't know if it's what we discussed when I first came on or if it's something I've seen, but when you go into like places like Boots, the percentages of the stuff that's in the supplements, people are reading things and it's BS. It's total BS. And actually when you do take, like your magnesium is absolutely amazing. Like I think it's about 6 months since I've been taking it. Might even be a bit longer. But I genuinely noticed the difference. So when I went to America, I forgot to take all my supplements, but I felt like tired. I didn't feel nourished. But I love I think everything that you stand for, you can you feel it on your socials. And even I love how you tell your brand story and you tell your founder story through your socials. And I actually use your socials. I'm like, we need to be more Elle Sera. Look what they're doing. But at the same time, like, I don't want to be on my socials. No, I want to be Elle Sera.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's very difficult because you've got to be a founder-led brand. But listen, I believe, listen, the CEOs are the new celebrities.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I know.
Everyone's like make an impact.
So I'm a bit like, well, I wish the HMRC would then gather up with that. And when they're going on about how many blow dries I'm having and putting them through as a work expense, I'm like, what do you want to do? Turn up the podcast with my hair done, for fuck's sake? I've said, if I had to hire a presenter, they would have to have their hair and makeup done for the show. So that becomes part of my rider.
Yeah.
Go away, pay enough tax anyway. But yeah, I'm totally whinging. But right,
it's justified. Don't worry.
Let's get back to our hooks. What's the difference between like mindset work and actual genuine like subconscious reprogramming?
So your mindset work, you're literally just trying to change your thoughts, but your thoughts are never going to change until it's safe for your thoughts to change. Whereas subconscious works somatically. So it works with your body, it works with your nervous system. When people do a belief coding session, it regulates their nervous system because when they've had experiences in the past where they felt scared, the nervous system is dysregulated. Where they felt frustrated, again, their nervous system is dysregulated. All of those experiences literally store in the subconscious mind. And then every time we have a similar experience, it triggers those feelings. Whereas when you work on your mindset, you're literally doing things like affirmations and you're doing things, like journaling. Whereas, yeah, you can get to the subconscious that way, but it's not specific. And what you will find is when you just focus on mindset techniques and, a lot of people they'll feel great, they'll read this book, they do affirmations, they do like a bit of meditation or whatever. They feel great for a while, but then they'll stop doing it. And then they feel worse and they feel like a failure. And then it loops back into that subconscious program. So when we work on our subconscious, we are literally changing every negative experience that they've had, which naturally makes them think negatively, to a positive experience, which will naturally make them think positive. And if I look at my own experience, I would say I'm like I don't really get, I do get sad, obviously, and angry and frustrated, but it's not my baseline. Whereas my baseline used to be like daily anxiety. It used to be kind of like, oh, doom, worst case scenario. Whereas now my baseline is, content, joyful. So when I feel sad or when I feel anxious, I know it's just a trigger. I know it's not a state of mind. It just is a thing. So when you work with your subconscious, you're able to reframe your past experiences that subconsciously you're holding on to. So you let go of it. So then you naturally think and feel happier, joyful, positive. So it's not having to, you don't have to pretend to.
So an interesting thing, and I actually sent you this clip. I was talking with Leanne.
I saw it. I loved it.
So, well, this is interesting, right? So genetically, you are made up the way that you are made up, right? So I am telling you now, I've got 2 copies of the same gene, right? And it means that my neurotransmitters don't fire that well, right? So if I get a tiny bit of bad news,
I've got a thing on this.
It really affects me. And it can affect me for a long time. It takes me a long time to come out of it.
So would you be interested in being part of our scientific trials? Because again, what we're discovering, right? So we've done stuff which is absolutely phenomenal. And the thing I'm trying to prove is everything stems from your subconscious creating the conditions within your body or your brain to make you feel and act a certain way, right? So just to put it into perspective, we did belief coding about increasing collagen. I don't know why I'm laughing there because I know let me just go get it.
Yeah, go on.
No, we did, I believe we've done 2 sessions, right? So we did a sample of 16 women where they did a self-facilitation and all about increasing collagen, right? They went back to experiences where it wasn't safe for them to look how they wanted to look. I feel like I'm really giggling now because I can see like a total
Go on, this is super interesting.
Anyway, when we did that, all the women had an increase within collagen. I had the least increase. So I was like, what? I'm the founder of this. What do you mean I had the least? Anyway, then we did a bigger pool of 80 people, 85 women, where we took a tissue sample before the session, directly after the session. The first one was a week after. The second one was 4 days after. Again, we had, what was it? I can show you all the stats afterwards, but a 0.2 increase. Basically, it was the same increase that someone would get if they took a month of supplements. Now, when we're speaking to Abhijit, one thing that we're realizing is, our body is always changing. So when you're saying that your neural pathways aren't connecting, I would imagine that again is a safety mechanism. We also worked with somebody who had early onset dementia, and what we literally saw the neural pathways creating a new pathway to access the memories. So the point I'm trying to make to you is, maybe you're right, but what if it is the subconscious trying to protect you? And are you open?
Well,
to being one of my experiments?
I think it was there at birth. Kind of it. So this is your DNA getting tested. This is your DNA.
Okay.
And I know that you definitely haven't got these genes because you have got the absolute opposite outlook to life than me.
But I didn't used to. So like literally if I had sad news, like when I used to go out with my ex-partner, I remember every single day I would cry. Every single day I would go in my little washroom where my washing machine was and my dryer and I'd just cry. I would just feel sad all of the time. And it is literally only over the past few years where I don't feel that. Even we've had people who've had like brain injuries and like, oh, it's because of this. This is why I feel that way. And they've done sessions. And again, it's the protective mechanism because your subconscious is a survival instinct. So I might be way off here.
We can like belief code to ourselves to like feeling better in our physical health.
In a physical health. So we did, I've actually done something called BC Extreme. And Susan, the girl that was in it, she's like 57 kg, right? Anyway, we got her to lift weights. She was able to lift without any assistance, 70 kg hip thrust. She couldn't do 80. She had one session, then she became physically stronger. She could do 3 reps of 90. So stuff like this, because everything is a limitation in the mind. And you know yourself, like when you go to the gym, if compared to when you have a PT, your PT will push you further than you can ever imagine. And this is just from stuff that we've discovered. So we're doing loads of different trials at the moment, from taking blood samples, tissue samples, brain scans to see what's happening. And the stuff that we've discovered is amazing. Even arthritis, like where we work with quite a famous guy who's totally ghosted me now.
Great.
And I was like, but he wants to hold on to his arthritis. So subconsciously, because it doesn't benefit him to let go of it. But again, what we saw, he went from being like a 5 out of 10 in pain to a 3 out of 10. At first, I was like, bloody hell, that's not much. But it's a 40% reduction in 1 hour. And again, what we saw in his brain, we saw him feeling in physical pain because all of his wavelengths are everywhere. And then after the session, he wasn't in as much pain. So we've been able to see like inflammation go down in the body because everything is there. Honestly, it's unbelievable. But we're hoping to break into the medical systems in the next sort of like 12 to 18 months, which is cool.
Do you think a lot of skeptics will be all over that?
I think skeptics are already over it, but this is the thing. This is the thing that's kept me driving forward with it. For a long time, I didn't want to, when we first launched it, because I saw things happening, which were absolutely amazing, I was like, right, this has to, like, we need to get it science-backed. There has to be something going on in the brain. And then I contacted Abhijit, who we're working with, and then I freaked out thinking, oh my God, what about if it's not science?
Who are you working with, sorry?
He's a guy called Abhijit Santani. He is the, he's created the brain interface computer. The guy is an actual, he's a genius. Like, he's an actual genius. If anyone's listening, just search for his paintings. Like, the guy is just unbelievable. But I ghosted him. And then about a year after I ghosted him, I was like, no, I need to see what is actually going on. And then from the first session, he's become obsessed with it. But now there's just so much cool stuff happening. And like, we are literally at the forefront of science.
What's it called? The brain interface computer?
Yeah.
Okay, let me have a look. Interface.
It's basically, do you know Elon Musk, how he controls electricity with that neural link in his brain?
Yeah.
So Abhijit can do it without the thing in his brain. That's what his painting is. The guy is 1 in 7 billion or 1 in 8 billion.
Wow. The brain computer interface, sometimes called brain machine interface, refers to a direct communication pathway between the brain and an external device, often a computer.
So basically, he can control a computer with his brain. Like, this guy is a genius. And when I took him out for dinner, he's like, have I told you about my painting? I was like, oh no. It's like, I can control devices with my brain. I was like, and then he showed us ringing his phone from his brain just by sending a command. It was absolutely insane. Me and Shay, who was in the office at the time, we were like, oh, what's just happened? And do you have ever those moments where you genuinely feel like something bigger is at play? So recently I seem to be attracting the exact right people into my path to get belief coding to where it needs to be that I see in my vision. Abhijit is one of those people. He's amazing.
Where do you see belief coding going in your vision?
In my vision. So it's definitely in the medical systems. It's a household name. It's, when people are feeling sad or they're in pain or whatever, someone says, oh, you could belief code that. You could belief code it. That's what I want it to be. That's where I see it being the household name. And I think the way we are now, more people are becoming open to it. And because we are science-backed, it's taken away that layer of skepticism, but we're just waiting for our PubMed index, which means that no one will ever question it, because it's insane. But it's taken a lot. Like, I've had to put up with so much SHIT being thrown at me from being called a scammer, from being called, what do you call them? Those, what are they called? Like an MLM, like just loads of stuff. And when you have that thrown at you and you know you're not that, it's like, oh, what is the point?
Yeah.
And then you see a testimonial, you see someone send you an email, you're like, right, this is the point, I get it. And if I wasn't obsessed with it, and I would imagine it's the same with you, if you weren't obsessed with your business and you weren't obsessed with your clients, you would literally give up.
Yeah.
But it's bigger than you.
Mm.
Do you feel
so
that?
many days that I want to give up, definitely.
Yeah.
And listen, this having faith in things and belief in things has been around for hundreds and thousands of years. From Catholicism to Buddhism, it's all blind faith. It's all positive thinking. It's just dressed up in different ways, isn't it? This 100%. Is a bit more action taken than just like sitting there praying and hoping for the best. But it's nothing new. You know what I mean? Even those like evangelical Christians, when they're at those like, and they're like, people haven't walked they're in a wheelchair and then they make them walk.
But I totally believe in that. Like, honestly,
I don't know if they're real or a bit like actors, but
right, let me share something with you, right? So I didn't realize people thought this. Whenever I do my in-persons, we always do live belief coding sessions. And then sometimes people get triggered, they go and have a session. So at the last in-person, there's a lady called Suzanne, suffered with fibromyalgia. She came in on crutches, right? By the end of it, she was off her crutches. She stood up and she gave this big speech. People were going up to her and asking if she was a plant and an actress.
Yeah.
But I was like, what do you mean? Because they could not believe it. But again, when we look at that, the physical disability was creating a benefit to her life. Honestly, this is why I'm obsessed with this stuff, because I honestly believe that we literally have everything within us to reach, this incredible human potential, but we are the thing that blocks it. Like, literally.
I definitely think there's the power of positive thinking can get you out of some real sticky spots, especially if it's like life-defining stuff, 1,000,000%. In an emergency situation, it is monumental what people have been able to do or think themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like when you have faith. So when you have that faith attitude, you automatically operate from a different level.
Yeah.
Whereas when you have that fear, again, you operate from a place that's to do with your survival. When you operate from faith, you are more in tune with everything and with the outcome that you want. You literally don't, and we all get to choose.
Yeah. 1,000%. I wish I had more of a positive mental attitude sometimes.
See, I think you do. This is crazy. Like, when you're saying this stuff to me, I just don't see it, because when you show up and when I talk to you, when I know you, like I would describe you as the ultimate powerhouse. Like, literally, you are so driven, so focused. You're a really good person. So when you're saying that you've got this anxiety, I'm like, I'm genuinely shocked, because
I tell people at the moment, I'm like, all I need around me is hype people. So if you're not going to be that, go away.
Ring me all the time.
Yeah, no, well, that's true. Like, you are 1,000,000%. If I'm having a bad day, I'm like, shit, I need to voice note this, because I need to get out of this mindset. And you definitely can spin people around 1,000%. And yeah, but all I need is hype people just literally around me at the moment, just giving me the positives, nothing else. I've said it to every single person. No negatives, no stress, just positivity, please.
Do you know what though, right? So now, if anyone, I can't hire can't people. Like, if somebody's a can't, I'm like, I really like you, but I can't have you on my team, because I need can people. I need people who can make the impossible possible, because I genuinely believe everything is possible. And when you have those people around you, everyone is solution-based. Whereas I used to have people work for me in the past and they weren't solution-based. They were, worst case scenario, the death of everything can happen, but you operate from that place. Whereas I think it's great to be aware, but actually when you feel positive, when you have those can people around you, like the can-do attitude, like mountains move to get you to where you need to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What's the hiring process like for you?
Hey everyone, I'm hiring. Send in a CV. To be fair, so everyone who works for me, apart from Laurie, who's my chief of marketing, have been belief coders. So we've always employed in-house. Michelle, she's one of my masters. So when she came in, she would just tell me about her background and then I give her a try. But she has literally just been the saving grace. But with myself, again, like, I don't like admin. I'm not great with stuff like that. So I like to know I like to give people a try, really, rather than go through everything. I'm like, it just overwhelms me. I go for my gut instinct. But that's definitely bit me on the arse before.
No, completely agree.
What's your hiring process?
Yeah, it's it's difficult, isn't it? Obviously, I've got Kelly, who's
she's
amazing. She's very much like me. Very much like me. We actually did these like leadership tests. It actually came out very similar, both of us. Which is not necessarily good because we both have the same skill sets, but we're both like action takers.
I don't think it is good actually because you know you can trust her. So actually, if you've got someone who's super similar, she's your right-hand woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she will think the same as you. So again, that takes off the pressure.
But to build out a team, you need all the skills because we've got no analytics in the team. We've got no that data-driven, like really deep organisation, long-term strategy thinking. Everything is like, I need to do it and I need to do it right now. And I'm like, shit, I've got 2 hours to do it. If I've got 2 hours, I could have had 30 days to do something and I will do it 2 hours before it needs to be done.
So you can believe code that because again, you're used to doing it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting though, so it's only really since joining Russell's coaching back in February where I've started to become more data-driven. Whereas before I'm like, oh, I feel that work. Let's do more of that. It didn't work. Oh, throw a bit of mud here. So everything was testing. Whereas really, one thing now I totally understand is in order to scale your business, it is just a numbers game. Whereas I used to think it was magic.
But also with that kind of thinking, I think in e-commerce, there's too much analytical thinking. And it's like, if there isn't data behind it, they don't want to do it. I know loads of guys like that who own businesses. I'm like, where's the magic? Where's the magic that's actually going to explode the business? Because people feel that way about the brand. They feel you. They feel positivity. And that's because you bring the magic. Now, data numbers play a part. But the magic, that is never going to come on a spreadsheet.
I 100% agree. And there's a great saying, isn't there? You know, you're far more powerful. Self-belief and confidence is far more powerful than a clipboard and stats. And it's so true. Whereas now I feel like we've got the data and the analytics and the magic. Whereas before it was like, ooh,
just magic.
Why is it not going like I thought?
Yeah, let's just sprinkle glitter over there and hope for the best. Yeah.
That literally was how I run the business for the first 2 years, 2.5 years.
No, I can believe it. But listen, you got it off the ground. You did what you did. You made some mistakes. And actually you realise, well, no, actually we need to put a bit of strategy in place. What are we going to do? How are we leveraging this?
Yeah. And also, do you think sometimes like I actually really do like strategy. Like strategy makes me feel important and clever. Do you know what I mean? I like the magic.
I sit there in strategy meetings going, like that. And I've got no idea what half the acronyms are that people are chatting. They're like, you know, so in Q4, we're going to look at the CMO, we're going to look at the CRO.
I don't know that stuff.
And I'm like.
And at the last part of the year.
So you mean what? Christmas?
CMO.
Honest to God, like this comes up all the time. And I'm a bit like, just talk in English, mate. UX and UI. And I'm like, what? And this is to do with graphic design. And we want to look at the UX, the UI. And I'm literally Googling as people are talking, thinking, what shit are you chatting, mate? Just talk about fucking website design or the car or something.
Is it going to work? Or is it not going to work? Why do I need... Yeah.
Honestly, and I'm thinking like, shut up with your jargon, trying to make this overcomplicated because I'll run rings around you. I just can't be arsed doing it. And that's how I feel sometimes.
Since I joined the circle, people like, and the CMO and the CRP, I'm like,
no, but I've got a really good team, marketing team around me now.
Yeah.
I love my guy, Brad. He's really good. And he gets marketing in the true sense of the word of marketing. He's not obsessed with, he's like, plays a part, the ROAS, everything like that. That all plays a part. But actually, what's longer term brand? Let's think about brand.
Yeah, so he gets it under the mission.
Gets it. Yeah. And that is
so do you have an ads agency or a marketing agency?
So we have, so they kind of, marketing agency, I would call them. Yeah, they're down in London. They've got some really great clients.
Have they?
Yeah.
It must be because your ads get saved to me in the algorithm. I'm like, oh, there she is. I love her.
Yeah, they're good.
Come and share.
But we do a bit of creative in-house. They do a bit of creative. But some of our best creative is just me with a videographer in the office, just chatting.
Yeah, but because it's real, isn't it? So then and also as well, when you're creating content like that, people see you as a real person.
Yeah.
So it's that know, like, and trust. And then when they see you on the socials, like I love following your socials.
Yeah.
You're really interesting.
I like leaning into the shit. Like I've just ordered 15,000 boxes, right, for a new product that we're doing.
Can you share the new product
and they are all wrong.
Is there anything you can do with them?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not wasting them. You're joking. So it should have been, we've got 28 of the new product in there. It should have been 30.
Oh, okay.
To match. So then everyone's subscription would be falling on the same day. So if you've got golden pill or the magnesium, everything would land on the same day. Yeah. But at this rate, they're going to have 2 subscriptions, 2 load of posts, and
even better.
More admin to manage. And I was like,
not the admin side.
Oh my God, this has been an oversight. Because in my head, I was going 28 days, 4 weeks, that should be on that scale. And I was actually forgetting, 30 days. So I'm just, so then I've had to go and manufacture, like little pouches. Yeah. They get like fine jewellery in little pouches. Yeah. So I've had them made, branded up.
I'm really intrigued what this product is now. When you start recording, you share it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So so we've had these little pouches made, and I'm going to have to put 2 in there and then stick it in the orders. But I'm like, listen,
I get you.
Adapt, overcome.
Yeah. And actually, you could market that in a special way, couldn't you? Like,
well, it's a travel bag, Jessica.
There we go. But entrepreneur. But you're totally right. And actually, do you know what? They'll make them feel like they're getting more than what they paid for.
Yeah, I think
that's genius.
So our travel bag comes
I don't even know what the product is. I'm going to order it now just for the travel bag. And you should too if you're listening to this.
But yeah, no, I was like, great. And I was like, let's just lean into it. I will do a video on how I fucked up the packaging and how we fixed it.
Well, this thing, right? My dad taught me this amazing quote. It's like, is it good news or is it bad news? Who knows? And it's so right. Like, is it good news? You don't actually know. It may feel a certain way in that moment of time. But actually, you might have 15,000 happy customers. Now they've got a travel bag and then they keep their subscription with you over and over and over.
Absolutely. Yeah. So listen, I'm going to lean into it and be dead honest about, I ordered these, not even thinking. Here we are. But I found the solution and there you go.
Do you follow Rixo?
So
the dresses.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't follow them, but I know them.
So Henrietta and I think I forgot what the other lady's called. They ordered some dresses, but all of the fabric came and it was just totally wrong. And instead of them throwing the dresses, they actually really promoted this is wrong, but we don't want to throw them. And they made a fortune.
Yeah. So again, lean into your difficult decisions and that BTS, which actually happens on a daily basis. There's so many things that go wrong on a daily basis. Yeah. Like I ordered loads of pairs of socks, some yoga socks.
I've got some of the socks. I love them.
Well, they all came individual and Kelly was like, did you not think to get them in pairs? I went, no, I didn't. So, because it wasn't even a question. I'm ordering pairs of socks. She was like, right, well, that just means we've got to put them all together. I was like,
let's go.
Right, come on then. It's like, and I was like, well, these things happen. We just deal with it.
To be fair, that's something that wouldn't even cross my head to get a pair because in my head I'm ordering the socks.
Yeah, I'm ordering pairs of socks. I didn't know they weren't going to cut. I didn't know they were all going to come individually in boxes.
I feel like I've done stuff like that. I definitely have done stuff like that, but it slipped my mind. Where I literally I've done something, but then I haven't really put the thought behind it. I've just gone with I'm going to do this. Great.
Of course, because we're impulsive and you got to move.
Yeah.
One of your superpowers is you probably move quick.
Really quick. And I think it's like
people around you probably get anxiety because they're like, they can't move as quick as you.
Oh, do you know what? So one of my team members, Nat, she's been with for 2 years. She's amazing. Her job role has changed so much. She must have changed about 50 times in 2 years. I'm like, hey, Nat, so I've got another role for you here. She's like, okay, what now? She's so good though.
Yeah. Well, you've got to adapt and change and move with
everything. I think you'll be the same as me in the sense of, because it is a small business, but with high volume, we're not big corporations. We're not big.
Nobody has a job role in my office. Let's be honest. The whole goal is to brand awareness and sell products.
Yeah.
So honestly, we all do everything all of the time. And unless we've got 30 people and we've got a real great, that person manages you three, whatever. That is the goal until it gets to a point where we actually need to define roles.
Yeah, I get you.
Otherwise, you're never going to do it.
Yeah. And also,
I hate when people go, well, that's not really my role. Well,
it is your own. I'm paying you. It's your role.
It is. Yes, it is, because it's mine. I've done it all. What's my role then?
Yeah.
Sit there and chat about the business? No, I will drop in and do anything. Anything. All of the time. Yeah, broke nails yesterday, moving all the boxes. Me and Kelly were sweating. I was like...
It's cardio as well.
Great. I actually thought, wow, I haven't been to the gym this week. And these boxes were 35 kilos each. I was like,
there you go, subconscious benefit.
Honestly, I was like, wow, I'm really doing my back in, but getting them going, yeah. You've worked with thousands of people, but what transformation still gives you goosebumps when you think about it?
There's a few. So one of my very first clients, Jess Pittman, and me, actually, I don't know if I can put a name in for GDPR.
Okay. Cut the name.
Yeah, cut the name.
Start again.
Oh, so one of my favourite clients, a girl called Jess, she watched my masterclass, bedbound with Crohn's disease and chronic fatigue. She was told that she would never work. She was told that she probably would ever, I get really emotional telling this story. She was told that she would never have children. Within 12 months, she no longer has Crohn's disease. She'd healed her chronic fatigue. Within 24 months, she's just had her first baby, and she used to do 5 gram months. Like, this is somebody, there's just so many stories like that. That's one of my favourite stories. Also, Tracy, who's become a really good friend, and Gemma. Tracy was a stay-at-home mum for 16 years, on and off antidepressants. Honestly, I love this work. On and off antidepressants for 20 years. She joined Belief Code, and within 3 months, she went back to the experiences. She hasn't suffered with depression since, and she's off antidepressants. And then Gemma, who I'm doing the Millionaire Method with, total experience, see if we can get her to make $1 million in the next 6 to 12 months. Her story is unbelievable. Like, where she was from, it's incomparable to where she was to where she's now. She has grit, she has drive, but all of this work, when you work with people who are at the lowest of the low, in like the worst conditions they could ever be in, emotionally, mentally, physically, and then they go through this transformation, you think, if they can do it, you can too. And I think this is why I absolutely love this, because we're in a fucking society now that pushes dopamine hits that constantly make people feel not good enough, that push, pharmaceuticals that constantly make people think that you have to be on this all your life. And it's just not true. We're sold a lie, and people buy into the lie, and it's perpetrated by news, by media, by Netflix. I purposely do not watch the news. I don't watch television because I'm not getting consumed with that. We are what we consume, as well as who we hang out with. And the only thing I want to consume are things that are going to make me nourish, flourish, and bloody fly.
Wow.
I felt was in flow there.
Clip right there. Wow.
But
as you were saying that, I think one of the biggest things that we don't think about when we're thinking about beliefs is the people you have around you. And one of the things that happens when you join Belief Coding is you're joining other people that are always telling you can do it and making you feel good about yourself all the time. So let's say you are regular woman, a Tracy. You sat at home, you stay at home mum, look at all your mum friends. They're always whinging about their life. They're going to Costa Coffee, they're buying cakes and whinging and all day and just having a coffee. And you're surrounding yourself with people who are just negative. They don't want to do anything. You just disconnect from yourself, you don't feel good about yourself. And then you come into Belief Coding and you think, well, yeah, I'll give it a go, maybe. And you're coming into a group of women now who are positive forces, who are not only telling you can do it, but they are religiously telling you day after day after day after day, minute after minute after minute after minute, that you are going to do it, you are going to fly, and that is actually, amazing. I think, amazing.
It is.
And that alone is like a testament to, it's kind of the 5 people that you hang around with the most, isn't it? And I think for Gemma, if she wants to make $1 million in 12 months,
honestly,
she needs to hang around with people, like 5 people who are making 10 million.
She came to Boise with me.
Exactly.
It's like literally, she came to Boise, but also as well, what I think sometimes for listeners, there'll be people there, they don't have a community, they don't have a tribe, they don't have people. But what they do have access to is the internet. What they do have access to are people who can inspire them on YouTube, listening to podcasts like this. So what I would say is, for the people who don't have the communities, who are sat in Costa, you're feeling deflated about yourself, what can you consume that is going to make you feel really good, that is going to make you more self-aware, that's going to test your boundaries, that's going to give you that growth and contribution over just being the pity party. And like, even now I've gone through this identity shift where I'm like, I'm not putting up with the whiner mentality. Like I cannot cope with it anymore. And I think for a long time I'd put up with like whining. I'm like, no, pull yourself out of it. Like, you have a choice. You can either whine about your life or you can have the winner mentality. When you start to switch it and you start to think, right, how can I win in this situation? Or about how can I whine about this situation? Everything changes. But a lot of the time, we feel so comfortable being in that situation because we're so scared of stepping out of it, because a lot of us are scared of who we actually can become. So instead of like thinking, who am I? We think, who am I not?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I completely agree. You had a girl on here. She was brilliant, actually, called Isabel Panton.
Don't make me jealous.
No,
Jesus, Alyssa.
She would definitely be someone that you'd want around you and in your circle. And definitely, she was brilliant. Very much the same, similar mentality. Because I've always been like that.
You are like that.
I'm a bit like, well, fucking get on with it.
Yeah.
But everyone goes, yeah, but you're so strong and you're so this and you're so that.
But
and
the
I'm
strength
like,
comes from getting on with it.
Well, exactly. And also, I wasn't born like this. You know what I mean? I've been put in really shitty situations. situations where you've had to like fight or flight kind of things. And I've had to fight and carry on and whatever. And voluntarily put myself in difficult situations. That gives you proof and evidence that you can do hard things. So then you go forward and do harder things. You know what I mean? Now I'm launching a product. Started this business with £50,000. Spend that in a fucking heartbeat on things now. Do you know what I mean? Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Because you now know you've got the evidence back you up that knows, well, you can make things work and you can do things. So.
And actually, every time you don't do something, you're actually confirming to yourself, you're not capable, you're not able. Whereas as soon as you make one choice to do something different, you're starting to provide yourself with that evidence. So there's a great saying as well, like do something every day that scares you, but sometimes you're not in a position to do something every day.
Yeah.
But if you do something every time you are scared, you're always going to have that growth.
Yeah. How important is it to you to have people around you that are like ambitious and...
Do you know what? It used to be super important, but I think that's because I lacked a lot of trust in myself. So for me, and also, I don't know actually, how important is it? I love being around people that inspire me. Like they're the only people I want to be around. I only want to talk to people who inspire me. It definitely does have an impact on me. But then at the same time, I'm like a total extrovert and a total introvert. So like I love people, but I don't like being around people. I love being around my family and I'm very much a family home bird. But then, like, I love being, like, the type of, I don't like small talk. Like, I can't bear small talk. I'm like, either say something deep or don't talk to me.
And the problem is, and again, I had this conversation not too long ago, but I'm like, I find myself, like, not really being, like, I haven't got many friends because they're not on the same journey as me.
Yeah, I get that.
So I can talk to people like you, really unfiltered.
Yeah.
And I had Hannah Kinsella on here who's scaling another DTC brand. And I'm like, I could talk to her.
Yeah.
She's probably looking at the same problems I've got.
Yeah.
And actually, when I'm like at the school gate sometimes, I see all the gym mums there who are absolutely like got loaded fellas and they're not working and they're just there in the Adenola having like chats and coffees around the school gates. I've got absolutely nothing in common with them. And they're all lovely people.
Yeah.
And like, but I'm like, I can't sit there and have small talk because I've got to get on. I'm busy and I'm doing stuff. And then I find myself like, people obviously think I'm rude or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do get that. I think this is the thing though, like, I really, really value my time and I think you do too. So for me, to sit down and just have like a pointless conversation about nothingness, I literally feel like I'm wasting my time and I'm wasting, and I know it's terrible to say, but like having a conversation like this, like this has taken me a full day, do you know?
Yeah,
but I don't care because I love having these conversations. And when you hang out with people who you have deep conversations with, the nuggets of gold you get there. Like recently I went away to America, this mastermind paid 25 grand to be in it, something separate to what I've already paid for. But when I was there, the nuggets of gold I got were from the people in that room and not even the teaching. And that for me that's what nourishes my soul. That's what lights me up. Talking about different variations of milk or like the weather, I'm just not like, I get frustrated. It's like, you know, sometimes when you're walking down the street and then someone's just walking really, 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 really slow in front of you and you're like, it's the same feeling. And then I found myself doing this face like, and like really my eyes twitch. I'm like, how did you get out of here?
No, I completely agree. Yeah, it's it is difficult, and I'm actually rubbish at small talk.
I'm rubbish. I feel really awkward.
Literally feel like I'm out of things to say. Do you know what I mean? I'm out of things to say, and then I just feel like a complete bitch a lot of the time. But I just think it's because I'm in the wrong rooms.
You're in the wrong rooms, yeah. Are you not part of a mastermind?
No.
You would love it. You would honestly, right? So joining this mastermind has literally been the best thing that I've ever done because like when you get to this level, and I would say we're at a similar level, there's not many people that have your problems. So sometimes you have an idea and you're like, who can I talk to about this idea? Or you have a problem and you're like, who can I talk to about this problem that's going to get it? Because most people don't get it because they're not at that level. But being in this mastermind, number one, it's allowed me to think so much bigger than I've ever thought, like ever. So now I'm seeing, because you don't know what's possible for you until you see what is possible for you. So it's allowed me to expand my vision. It's allowed me to have a group of people that totally get it, that don't want things from you. So again, I've had relationships break down, relationships in friendships break down, because when people came into my life, they came into my life dependent on what I could give them. And because I couldn't give them what they wanted, then they vilify you. Yeah. And it's like, that's been quite hard because people are like, what if I don't like, you don't know what I've done here. But when when you get to a level of success, and I don't know if you've experienced this, like I'm an open book, and I genuinely have a love of people, even though I don't necessarily like being around people too much, but I want the best for people. And I just assume everyone is like that. So when I bring people into my world, and then the friendship is relying on what they can get from me or what they need from me, I'm like, it's yeah. But when I look at everything, it's like, yeah, it's because they wanted something from me that I'm not responsible to give.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
Not really. Well, I don't know. Have I? Yeah, probably. And there's a lot of people that do depend on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For everything. And I'm a bit like, difficult, blurs lines a lot as well.
Yeah. And then you do feel responsible. And it's taken me, and again, this is only from doing belief coding, that I've been okay with actually the only people I'm responsible for are my 5 children.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like not even Alex.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've got 5 dependents. I will take full responsibility.
Yeah.
But I'm not responsible for other people, and also I'm a great believer in the only way you get success, you get happiness, you get joy is if you actually do something yourself to get it. Whereas when you become reliant on other people, you're never going to be happy because you're relying on somebody else to give you what you're missing.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a good saying.
That
one. I
was
like
also
that one.
a great hook, great quote there. Ashmi will have fun with that one. Right, just to finish up. Okay, so what is one belief that every woman should uninstall if she wants to stop playing small?
Uninstall. Just the belief that I tell you, like, what about what belief that they should install, right? Or one kind of thought process. What you need to understand is literally billions and billions of things had to go right for you to exist.
Yeah.
Had to go right for you to be at this point in your life, for you to be alive. Billions of things. So we go through this state where we feel sorry for ourselves, we feel not good enough, we feel shitty, we feel worthy, we feel, whereas actually when you look at the grand scheme, you've been given this amazing gift of life and people fuck around with it.
Yeah.
Like you are literally here once, so you get to decide whether you make something of your life or whether you stay where you are. For me, I want to see what I can make of my life. I want to have as much fun as possible. I want to have as much impact as possible. I want to have as much joy as possible, but it is a choice. And sometimes that choice can feel really scary, especially when you're feeling, at the depths of despair, but you have to choose to move forward because if you don't, you stay stuck in your life forever and it's a waste of a life.
Yeah. How do you feel about Mel Robbins' Let Them?
Oh, I've not read the book.
Well, I haven't either. But I think
What's the theory behind it?
The theory behind it is, if someone's being an asshole to you, let them.
Oh, I love it.
I'm the opposite. I think what a fucking defeatist attitude that is. Don't fucking let them.
Oh,
tell them. Whatever. No, deal with it. Deal with it. Not be a doormat. That tells me be a doormat.
Oh, you see, I've got the opposite perception. So, I'll give you an example, right? So recently I've had a bit of an issue, right? But I'm like, no, fucking let them. And the reason is I have no emotional charge behind that. And because I know myself, their opinions of me are none of my business. And also if I get consumed with trying to, I don't know, go back and forth. I don't really want to get into that energy because if I'm consumed by what they're saying about me, what they're doing to me, then my energy is focused on that, not focused on the big damn vision.
I agree with that as well. I'm a bit it depends. Also, got to pick your battles.
Well, to be fair, I'm ruthless in the sense of if somebody has done something, I'm like, why?
Yeah,
I cut them off.
Gotta let them
I
go.
block them.
Yeah,
and that's it. And I'm okay with being cutthroat, just blocking, deleting, not engaging, because I'm not interested in I've not got time for it.
Focus on yourself.
Well, that's it. Because if you focus on other people or what they're saying, then that's taking up brain space, that's taking up head space, that's taking up my energy. Whereas all of that energy, all of that head space, it's actually let them because I'm going this way.
Yeah. Agree with that too. It depends. I think in some aspects I'm a bit no, don't be a doormat. Get on with it. Do it. Don't let them.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Maybe I should read the book.
Yeah. No, but so say for example, if
but when I've seen it going on podcasts, I'm like, oh, Mel, we're on different pages here, for God's sake.
But I think we're on the same page in the sense of if I thought someone had, because I've had people who've taken the piss out of me recently, but I'm do I really want to get into that? No, because also I know what I'm capable of.
There's a lot of that goes on. There's a lot of that goes on. There's a lot of situations I've been in. I think, no, I've conducted myself absolutely correctly. More than enough. I've been more than generous in that scenario.
Yeah.
So if you want to go around saying that I'm difficult, I'm this, I'm that, fucking crack on then. Because that is not the reality. The reality, if anybody wants to ask me, was this, 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 and this.
Exactly.
And I went over and above to make you feel comfortable. And I'm sorry, you still let me down.
We are the same. Yeah, honestly, like this is the same because I think, but it's really frustrating when stuff like happens.
How are we getting bad press then?
I know. Do you know what I think it is? Because this is the way I look at it, right? Those who shout loudest have the least to say. And like literally, there's so many things that I could shout about, but what's the point? What is the point? In the grand scheme of things, it actually doesn't matter because the people who I matter to and who matter to me, they're my people.
Yeah.
Like the other people, let them.
Crack on.
Yeah. That's the new one then, crack on.
That would be
the new book, Alyssa.
My philosophy is crack on. Oh, fabulous. Right, we've got to wrap it up there. But yeah, as always, source of inspiration for me. One of the biggest
and as you to me.
Yeah, one of the biggest hype girls you could ever follow, ever be in touch with, ever belief code around. Get around belief coding. If you haven't got a community, that is the one to tap into. If nothing else, genuinely, because that, just being around positive people is a shift and a half.
Yeah. Totally.
Isn't it?
Also as well though, going into it, like you've created a pretty bloody awesome community. Like even like when you go on your socials, I get a real sense of community and a real sense of belonging.
I wish I had time to get into it. You know what I mean?
Well, start delegating more. Take some tips off Danny.
I know. It's absolutely crazy. I'm a bit like, how can you just let people like do all these things? I'm like, I don't know.
Because you let it go.
It's
allowing it to expand and grow.
I don't know.
Look at you, can tell how uncomfortable you're feeling.
I am uncomfortable. I need to trust people. I could definitely let go if I trust people to do a good job.
Put it this way, right? So if you had 10 Kellys, what would you do?
Brilliant. They'd all have 10 different jobs.
There you go then. So you just need to find more Alyssas and more Kellys.
Yeah, I've just hired a new girl, which is brilliant, called Rebecca, and she's like finding her feet, but I'm like, brilliant. You'll learn how I work, follow, like kind of like stay on my shoulder. Let's see. Can you work like me? Can you take off this load? Do you know what I mean? Which is great. And I am definitely expanding the team. She's only been there a couple of weeks though. So
are you happy? So I'm happy if people make mistakes. Not happy, but
I love it. You've had a go.
There you go then. Yeah. And that's so then I think we're going to do some
my
belief
boss,
coding.
I've only ever had one boss in my entire life. Yeah. Mad to believe that. And it was only for 9 months. And then we had a massive blowout. And
was that when you were a journalist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Johnson, I'll never forget him. He's dead now, but I always remember Chris Johnson. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was a complete rookie reporter. And this place was like a baptism of fire every day. Yeah. And he would go, like scream across the room, Alyssa, get over here. And what I would have written would be completely wrong. It would have been the way I was taught in university to do it correctly, right? That is not what sells newspapers. So what Chris,
this is the experience that is created.
Exactly. So there you go. So he's like, we're in the business of selling stories. Sell it to me. So everything had to change. But he would have the patience to sit there. He'd say, come and sit down. We're going to rewrite this together. And he would go through it, right? And he'd go, what colour is the house? How many windows? How many doors? It's detached, semi-detached. All these extra details that I would have missed. You know what I mean? And he sat there and had the patience to go through stuff with me. But you have to give it a go, and then you refine from there. Yeah. And I left, obviously, with a lot more knowledge than when I started, which was brilliant. And I've never had a boss since, and I've always made money, so I must have done something okay. But to not try, and people go, well, I don't know how you want it, and I'll probably get it wrong, so I'm not going to do it. Well, that's no.
Bye. There's your P45.
Yeah, like no.
Yeah,
try it, mess it up, refine, practice. You're only going to get better with practice, and then you're going to know how I want it.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to sit there and be Chris Johnson and show you the way that I would do it if you want to know. Yeah. I'm willing to do that, but you've got to be willing to take criticism.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
People won't take criticism. They go, switch
do you know
off.
What, so I think the way you deliver the criticism, so I would imagine you deliver it in a way that is like direct, firm, but fair. No, but I'm the same in the sense of like, I'm like, right, okay, so this is how I do it this way. And I explain why I do it that way. So they're always learning. And actually, again, Nat, like she said, 50 odd job description since joining, but she is so good at adapting, so good at refining. And she doesn't take offense because she knows it's the best for the business. She knows I don't mean any bad intention with it. And I think it's the same with you. Like when people learn and they expand and they grow and then they become the best version of who they could become from your guidance.
Yeah. I also think staff members need to give you a break sometimes because I'm a bit like, by the way, I've never done this before myself. I'm laying the path at the same time I'm walking down it and you're walking behind me on that path.
Yeah.
So I might fuck it up as well. You know what I mean?
I've done that.
And I think they like almost expect you to have everything fucking figured out. And I'm like, no, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So give me a break as well. You know what I mean? Give me a break.
Well, I think you're doing absolutely amazing. And I think
Thank you so much.
On the cusp of your next level. And I think you're going to fly higher than you can ever imagine.
Oh, God. Well, hopefully. Because the last
What
time.
was this hopefully? Hang on, let's try that again.
Yeah.
Just simply say.
No, you're right.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are, girl.
And I think that's a fabulous place to finish. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.